Something pretty big just happened today in the music industry, which is that Make Music, the parent company of Finale, just announced that they are discontinuing Finale forever. Like, it's completely gone, no more updates, kablooey, bye-bye. And now if you've ever written any music, like notated it on your computer at all, you'll understand immediately like what a huge deal this is, because basically now there are hundreds, maybe even like thousands of Finale users all over the world who are scrambling to find a new notation software. And that kind of sucks, because learning a new notation software from scratch can be insanely challenging, especially if you have to do it in the middle of all of your writing gigs. And look, I'll be the first to tell you that it shouldn't matter what notation software you use, because ultimately the notes that get written down, those are the important things. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you a little bit my workflow in Sibelius, which is another notation software. And all that means is basically we're using this computer software to input the notes that we would, write down maybe with like pencil or pen and paper in a much more efficient and cleaner way on the computer. And so just really quickly, all this information today is coming to you from me, yours truly, Stephen Feifke. Some of you may know me, some of you may not know me. I'm not going to bore you with my whole life story here or anything like that, but basically the short version as it pertains to this video is that I'm a pianist, composer, arranger, orchestrator, band leader living here in New York City. And I've been working professionally in this space for quite some time now. I lead my own big band. I've written music for TV shows, for other artists, orchestras around the world, recording sessions, like pretty much if you can think of a gig that somebody might do in this space, there's a chance that I have been truly fortunate enough to do it. And so again, I just want to reiterate here that it doesn't matter, or it shouldn't matter anyway, what notation software you use, because ultimately the notes that you write down, those are the most important things, not just to you, the artist, but also to the people who are listening to your music, to the other people who are playing your music, right? We're not writing music so that it gets played better by our notation software, in other words, right? And so what is important with notation softwares is that the ease with which you can write the notes down on the computer, that is actually really, really important, because that can be the difference between minutes, seconds, minutes, hours, days, when it all adds up at the end of the writing process. And so, by the way, really quickly here, if there are any big band fans out there, I recently created a free class where I share my secret formula to write a killer award-winning big band chart in 24 hours or less without getting stuck by writer's block. Now, I'm not sure exactly how much longer I'm going to be keeping this online for, so if you're seeing this and you do want to write better big band music faster than you could before, you can check out the link in the video description. I don't know whether it's sideways these days or below, I don't know, but it's there for you to check out. Anyway, look, the Finale thing is a huge blow to the industry. It's pretty tough, not just for Finale users. I'll be honest, even as a Sibelius user, I find this kind of challenging, because it means that there's just a little bit less going on in terms of who's creating software for people to write music with. And it's a big deal with Finale because of the fact, in part, that it was one of the first softwares to achieve mainstream usage by musicians around the world. And it's kind of sad, honestly, to see this happening. And I myself, I'll be honest with you, I've never used Finale. I started on Sibelius in high school. It just happened to be the software that was on the school computers, and I got used to using it, right? At first, I was just using it to write simple lead sheets, and then I wrote septet scores, and then I wrote big band scores, all while I was in high school, and I've just been using it ever since. And one of my favorite things about Sibelius is that it's just so easy to use. Inputting notes, it's just obvious in terms of how to do it. You don't need a MIDI keyboard or anything like that. You can literally just do it with your computer keyboard and a mouse or a trackpad. You can do it on the go, and that's that. And that's not unique, by the way, to Sibelius. All the softwares you can do that with, I've just noticed personally that Sibelius is the easiest one to do it with for me. And for whatever it's worth, I've tried Finale at several points, whether it's just a difficulty with learning a new software because I was so used to Sibelius, or whether it's because Sibelius is just easier to use. I don't know exactly. I just ended up sticking with Sibelius. And what I found over time is that Sibelius is an extremely powerful software, not just for inputting notes, but also in terms of engraving. A lot of people I print my charts and they'll ask me like, hey, like what software did you use? And I say, oh, Sibelius. And they're like, really, Sibelius? You can make the charts look like that with Sibelius? So I'm telling you, like, it's just a matter of, figuring out how to use these things. Anyway, so today, in light of the finale announcement, I thought I'd give you all just a quick peek into my workflow in Sibelius, as well as make my personalized Sibelius template that I've created over the course of like 13 years available for download for free, which again, you can just grab in the video description. I don't know wherever that is these days. And let me just make a quick disclaimer before I dive in. This video is not sponsored by Sibelius. They didn't hit me up and ask me to make you this video. I'm just a passionate user of the software, and I'm a passionate musician in general. And all I want is to see other musicians also have fun with writing as much as I do, because writing music is fun, or at least it can be. And so in order to give you all a quick glimpse into my Sibelius workflow, I'm just going to open up my software real quick, and I'm going to compose and orchestrate about 4 to 8 measures of music here for you. So really quick, this is my template. If you choose to download it, this is what you're going to get. It's basically got everything that you might need. A title in larger letters. The score type is transposed. I'm in concert at the moment. I like to write in concert. I'm a pianist. I toggle between concert and transposed as I'm writing. And it's got the composed or arranged by. It's got nice measure numbers. And not only that, but when you go flip over to like one of the parts, right now there's no music, but this is also all it has all of my engraving things in here as well. So, I was thinking about like what to write. I didn't know exactly what to write, but what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to write just like maybe 8 measures of a saxophone soli on rhythm changes with some brass comping. How's that sound? Is that cool? All right. So I'm going to do rhythm changes in B flat. By the way, I don't need to use the voice here, so I'm just going to delete it. And I'll save this later on. I'm not going to actually mess with it right now with the voice. So let me just work on writing this quick melody. And if it's in B flat, first thing I should do is I should just set up a new key signature. So let's just get started. First thing I'm going to do to write this melody is that I'm going to start with the melody, right? That's the easiest thing to do, probably. And I guess I'm going to have to put this playback out of Zoom and into just the regular computer speakers. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I sang it out. Got this. I'm just gonna put this in. I'm just using by the way, I'm only using my keyboard and my trackpad at the moment. I don't have a MIDI keyboard here. If I did, it would be faster. But all I'm using right now is literally just my keyboard and my trackpad. I think I'm hearing a scoop into that note. Beep, boop, beep. Boop, beep. Beep, ba. I think I'm hearing this long. Ba. And then I think I do hear some brass comping here. Beep, ba, ba, do, gay, da, da. 1, 2, 3, and. So I think I heard an A flat. I'm going to put it all the way up there. 1, 2, 3, and da, da, da. Now, some of you might be asking, like, why am I doing an eighth note tied to a quarter instead of a dotted quarter here? Just when the note starts on an offbeat, what I've noticed is that it can be sometimes more clear to read like this. People might have different opinions. This is mine. B, D, da. Now I don't know whether this is a half note that I'm hearing or a dotted quarter. 1, 2, 3, ba, da, da, da. I could go either way. Ba. I think in this version, I just heard this short. I think that actually feels a little bit better to me. B. I'm going to add accent markings just because I want everybody to push through. Nice. Ba, ba. bo do dee da da do dee bo do da. 1. Be da. Oops. This is going to be a 2-5 to E flat. Dee da da do do be da. Dee da 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 da. I think I sang a blues scale before. Dee da da do do be da da. I think now I'm hearing something different. Boo dee da. Dee ba. Boo dee da da do da. Definitely hearing that G flat. That was the pause. Courtesy accidental. Dee da 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 ba ba be da do do dee da. Dee da da do do dee da do da da dee do dee da dee da da dee ba da be ba dee ba ba be da dee dee ba. Ba 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 doo da. And then I'm hearing on the ba doo da ba da another brass comp here. I guess I'm hearing a B flat. It's high, but you know, they'll make it work. And then just for, you know, usually I'd put 8 measures on a page, but just for right now, so that we can have it all fit on one page nice and even like this, I'll have the horns play there. All right, so now I've got my lead line, I've got my brass comps happening. Last thing I need to really put in is my changes. So I'm gonna use some hotkeys here to get some slash marks for the rhythm section. I'm just gonna put in like this, B flat major 7, G minor 7, just regular rhythm changes for now. I can always go and make that more specific depending on what the melody is. I can actually already tell this is going to be G7 sharp 9, C minor 7, F7, F13. I mean, I can even hear a flat 9 there. B, do, da, ba. This is going to be G7 with a sharp 11, flat 9. And then maybe this is going to be C. I could have that be C9, C7 with a tension 9, and then F7, F13, flat 9 again. And then this will be F minor 7, wee da be da, B flat 7. This is going to be flat 13 probably. I'm just looking at the melody that I've written here, by the way, everybody. That's how I'm doing this. E flat major 7, A flat 7, or it could A flat 9, I think, over here. B do dee boo do do dee da. This is gonna be D minor 7. This is gonna be C sharp diminished 7. I can tell. B da ba ba do da. C minor 7, F7. And then there's a nice opportunity for the whole band to play this together. So instead of B da do da, I could make this actually, I could use a tritone substitution here just for fun. Let's make this B7, or what is this? B9, 13, sharp 11. B13, sharp 11. And this is just going to be B flat. Let's make that be B flat 7, sharp 9. And I'm going to give everybody really strong downbeat because you know what, why not? Okay, so now I've got my changes here. Just going to copy and paste that over into the piano and the bass part. Drums I'll save for the end because I'll show you there's a special way to do this. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to harmonize the sax solely. I'm just going to use a shortcut here to get all of this out nice and clean. So this starts off B flat major. I'm going to harmonize like this. Now this starts on, you know, an offbeat here, and actually there's an opportunity to do some nice spread voicings here like this. This could even be D flat 7 for a second. Problem here is that this doesn't change voicings from one to another, so I'll make this a quick stop over on D7, which I don't need to add to the changes. It's just a really nice passing. Now this, I'll go to four-way closed. This harmonization of the bebop scale. Boo boo ba doo bee. Now you can see, by the way, that Sibelius is like telling me that these notes are too low, but don't worry because these red ones are going to be going in the tenors anyway, so it's really all good. Now this is going to be B flat major. So now look, the shortcut here is that I'm just going to cut this, and then I'm going to go into note input explode. The explode function is awesome. I just got to make sure that I change this from alto back to tenor. And then I'm going to have to add in my root here because I didn't do four-way closed voicings or anything like that for the beginning. I did spread voicings. So this is going to be, it's going to start off with a B flat. And I can just, I'm going to grab this melody, these three, so that it copies the articulation markings. I'm just going to put them on the roots. Like so. And now this is all four-way closed, so I'm just going to have Barry double the lead alto down the octaves. Now the saxophones sound like this. And I'll add tempo and style, so this is just going to be, you know, swing. Exciting swing. 120 for now is fine. Okay, now I'm on my spread voicings in the bones. So look, I'm just going to follow the chord symbols, copy and paste so I can get those articulation markings in. G, C, F, and then it goes to F minor 7. I can keep this on the F, or I can be kind of sneaky and like put in that resolution point, that B flat major 7, and it's not really going to interrupt this F minor. We're going to just really quickly for a moment hear that resolution. So I'm just going to write some upper structure triads here. This is going to be a D flat major, upper structure triad. This is going to be a G minor. Now there's a lot of different ways to do this, but this is one of them. And all I'm doing here is I think actually I've thought about it, and I'm going to keep it on F minor here. So I'm just going to use a simple F minor triad here. One thing that's missing, by the way, is dynamic markings. Never fear, select all of those. And by the way, when I toggle back onto transposing, you can see everything just falls into place really nicely. Again, I'm a pianist. That's why I write using concert score. Now on the bones, I'm just going to have guide tone, G7, and then a note that connects to the upper structure triad. I think an E flat will do nicely here. Guide tone, color tone. Guide tone, color tone, F minor, guide tone, oops, color tone. And this is all going to be fortes, so now I'm just going to use that explode function again. I don't use this all the time, but for something like this, it definitely is super helpful. You can see as well just like how easily it pops out. There you go. This now sounds like this. Perfect. You know what? The only thing is that I think that this note right here, that can be a flat 13, so I'm going to put F7 flat 13 flat 9, which means I also need to change that note to a D flat. That's cool now, F minor 7. And now over here, I'm going to harmonize using spread voicings again for the beginning before I go to four-way closed over here. So I'm just going to follow some root motion stuff over here so I can decide what these are going to actually resolve to. So this is going to go to B flat, but I've got B flat in the melody, so actually what if I made this E7, what am I hearing? Sharp E9, sharp 11. Ooh, nice. Let me just grab these and put them into the piano and bass part so that the harmony matches. So I'm basically going to aim my arrow for that E7 chord right here. And then what goes into E7? Well, B7, but also F can go in there. So I'm going to start with like B flat sus over here, which kind of works over F minor 7, right? I don't need to give new chord changes there. And I'll have F7 slide into the E9 sharp 11 chord, and that's going to be F7. I guess it's going to be flat 13, flat 9 again. So how I'm going to do this is that I'm just going to actually use that explode function, but just for the top voices. So I can see here that that's going to work 4-way close at the beginning, and then I'll have drop 2 plus root for the rest of these. Nice. All right, now I've got some repeating articulation markings of how I wrote that in. Beta. And then over here, like maybe, you know, I can do the same sort of thing again. So this can be F7, sharp 9 this time, flat 13. And then this can be E7, E9, just regular. And then I can kind of go back to doing 4-way closed over there, but just to give a quick respite from all those notes being clumped together, and you can hear this. You can hear how this really nicely functions together. The only thing that I'm hearing now is like maybe that F7 sharp 9 sound might be a little bit too harsh, but I'm not sure. So there's some I can keep this independency of the Barry going because I can aim again for this A flat sound over here, A flat 9. Like so. And I can again just like kind of keep the saxes in some sort of 4-way landscape here. And I can use an inversion here. This can be like kind of G7 sliding into A flat. Or I can write G minor, that's also fine. I'm just going to see what it looks like over here. Yeah, it looks nice. Do, ba da do dee da 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 D. This is going to be D minor over here, I can already tell. So now I'm just going to check out what this is going to become. B da da. This all looks like it's kind of within the system of A flat 7. So I can actually just keep this all diatonic. Let's say that I'm using A flat 7 sharp 11. I don't know. Maybe I'll add that A flat 9 sharp 11 here. That seems right because it uses the D natural from the B flat major scale. I do get that really crunchy sound up there though. So maybe I can kind of use just like a regular 9 voicing, and then I'm just going to make sure that all these... that's kind of funky. I don't mind it though. This is going to be just straight up D minor. B, da, da. Step into this. And then this is just going to be a half step going in there. Let me just add a slur here. Just press the S function. This is just every note is a half step away here. This is going to be C sharp diminished already. But the thing is that this B flat is going to be that C sharp diminished soundscape. And if I use a C sharp diminished harmonization here, I'm going to wind up with repeated notes. So I'm just going to make that D minor again. And then here on the short note, that's where I'll get into the C sharp diminished sound. There we go. Let me explode all that. And then here, the thing that I'm looking at now is that I'm just going to have a little bit of distance for this Barry sax to jump. So maybe I should do some drop 2 landscaping here. So if I take this guy and then I move these guys up here. All I did is I pressed Option and hold, and then put this guy here, but down the octave, and then put that guy that I've been holding on to down below. Now all of a sudden, it doesn't look so leapy. B da da ba do da. F7, and that's going to be a punch at the end. So that'll become a spread voicing at the end there. I'm just going to explode this. B do da. And you can see there's a repeated note, but never fear because we're going to be doing some drop 2 action here as well. Now I'm just going to put this back. Be-do-da. Now this voicing over here is just a little bit, you know, it's not as colorful as it could be because this is a spread voicing. I'm going to make this guy also function like that. So it's going to be G flat 7 sliding their way down into the problem that I'm running into here is repeated notes, so I'm just going to keep this actually as 4-way closed for the time being. And I'm just using a method here called the top-down method. Ba-do-da. There we go. That sounds nice. And now I've got B7 sharp 11. And I'm going to actually, because I've used the F7 there, I'm going to add some hits to the rhythm section parts. Like so. So that just matches up with the harmony of the horns. And it's also going to add a nice period onto our line. F13 over there. Beep ba doo bop. There we go. Perfect. Add, add, add. And now last spread voicing, B13 sharp 11 going into B flat 7, sharp 9. So let me grab that, put it in the bass, or bass trombone anyway. And bass trombone, they can play it down there. This is a pretty big moment, so let me add that. Upper structure triad here is just going to be a D flat major triad or C sharp major triad, depending on how you're thinking about this. B flat 7 sharp 9 with a root. That's just going to be a minor triad actually. And I'll put that in all of the other voices. Explode, nice and easy. Now I'm going to go to the guide tones here. And now with the sharp 9, I think that the shape that I want is going to have the sharp 9 on top with the third there and the 7th there, and then the sharp 9 up here. Okay, and then that means that this voicing, so that I can have some nice voice leading, is going to be over here. And now this sounds like this. Ooh, nice. The only thing is that the D natural and the D flat here are kind of like crunching, and I mean it's kind of pleasant, but also like maybe it's not as pleasant as it could be. So what if I reverse these guide tones and just keep this voicing generally higher? I'm sacrificing a bit of voice motion here, a bit of melody here, but it's okay. It's really fine. That's pretty clean. That's going to sound like very clean, and I kind of miss the crunchiness of the bottom, to be honest with you. So maybe what I can do is I can put it back, and just because we're at the end of the line here, I can get the saxes involved as well, and I'll put that on a D flat. So it's a repeated note. That note happens twice, but I think it's nicer to have the trombones in that register. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the saxes in on this voicing as well. And I'm going to, I think that they definitely need the guide tones. So I'm going to put the guide tones at the bottom of this voicing for the saxes. So I'm going to give that to the to the bari and the tenor 2. And then I'm going to put this triad here just in the top 3 voices of the saxophone section. But I'm going to put them down the octave. And so the saxes are going to be playing sort of like a highlight reel almost. And then because they're playing with the brass all of a sudden, it's got to be forte. They've been playing mezzo forte before, and I'm also going to put the rhythm section on forte as well. So now all that's left to do is to basically give the drummer their notation. And look, the drummer is basically just going to be playing time in this, except for where they have these hits. In order to do that, what I like to do is I like to give the drummer chord changes and chord changes where they don't have hits to catch. And if there's something very specific like this moment right here where everybody's doing it together and they're going to be stopping at the end of it, I'm going to give the drummer exactly what's going on in the ensemble, like so. But until then, I'm going to give, and you can see here, I'm just going to grab these chord symbol selections until I get here. So grab this much, put it here. And then for this, I'm going to put drummer on voice 2, and I'm going to add some kicks over time is what you call this, like so. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to write the rhythm that the brass have, because that's what I want the drummer to catch. I'm going to put it here and here as well. This way the drummer is going to be knowing exactly what's going on in the rest of the ensemble. There's not going to be any questions. And everybody's going to be happy because the drummer is going to be playing with the ensemble. And when the drummer plays with the ensemble, it's going to sound a lot bigger. As soon as they're done there, I'm going to catch the rest of these changes. And over here, instead of the B flat major, I can actually just write right above here, brass, like so. They're going to know to play this. And now, title, 8 measures on rhythm changes, composed by Stephen Feifke. It's also arranged and orchestrated by me, so I guess I don't need to put that in there. There you go, exciting swing, 120. I'm actually hearing like this a little bit faster, maybe like around 152. And here's what it sounds like. I'll put it on transposing score so everything like looks like it's in their nice register. You know what? I don't hate that. Maybe I'll use that in a future chart. But for now, I just hope that it was helpful to kind of like check out a little bit of a glimpse of my writing flow, my process in Sibelius. Again, it's been great to talk to you today. I'm sorry to any Finale users out there who are affected by this sudden and drastic change. I do have to say that I think Sibelius is an excellent option. And it's because of the fact that it's really easy to use. It's just as powerful. Honestly, it really, really is. You can make your parts look absolutely beautiful. And also Sibelius, you know, it's currently it's a part of Avid. It's an amazing company. They make Pro Tools. I just can't say enough good things about that. So anyway, I hope that this was helpful. Over the next little while, I'm going to be making some shorter videos on specifics in terms of how to use Sibelius for anybody who is interested in making that transition, or if you are a Sibelius user, maybe there are just some shortcuts that you weren't aware of. So if you want to follow along, you can like, subscribe. Please also feel free to turn on the notifications so you don't miss one of those videos. And look, it's just been great to chat to you. It's awesome to talk to people who are as passionate about writing music as I am. It's one of my, it's probably like one of the biggest parts of my life. And, I'll just see you around. All right, everybody. Cheers. All the best. Peace.